Linkser is saving this map for the Outlaws right now. He is clutching when his team looks like they're about to lose.
My name is Linkser, and I play DPS for the Houston Outlaws. I personally think what it takes to be MVP in esports and in Overwatch is to kind of be relentless with yourself. You know that eventually you will have slumps, but when it comes to those times, it's very important to keep a good mindset and good attitude towards your teammates and take it as a learning experience.
Linkser now going to fall back to the point, try and close that angle off, and Linkser finally connecting.
Personally, I think my biggest challenges have been making sure that mentally not be affected by my performances and just keep going forward. I think what makes a good DPS player is someone who can lead, but also be a bit selfish. It sounds weird considering I said that being a team player is important, but when you're a DPS player, you know that there's a certain element to the game where you have to outskill someone. You need to be able to be confident in yourself to take the fight to them.
Linkser comes in with the blade, looking to lock this one out.
To be one of the best and to be MVP, you need to have a work ethic and never be complacent. Every win should feel good, and every loss a learning experience.
And all the big kills are going the way of Linkser. Houston Outlaws managing to hold on.
Welcome back, guys, to the Overwatch League. Talking about Linkser, our possible T-Mobile League MVP. But you know what? I say he was part of the conversation Stage 2, Stage 1. But, in Stage 3, he has taken a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, I think that this is a few things. Obviously, it's still a very friendly Widowmaker map pool.
Sure.
But part of it is that we've seen either a completely new, excellent Widowmaker players introduced to the league, like Saya Player and Architect, or we've seen players like Surefour really step up their game this stage, and the Widowmaker challenge, the battle between the Widows, has become significantly more difficult. So Linkser, I think, may also be in a bit of a slump right now, and he's still a great player, obviously, on the Houston Outlaws, but he isn't the same dominant force that he was in Stage 1 or Stage 2.
I mean, you raise a good point, though, that other people are sort of stepping up to meet this challenge. I mean, look at Saya Player coming out for Florida Mayhem, right? A pretty spectacular Widowmaker. Artifact kind of showing us some good games, too, on the Widow, although I feel like we need to see a bit more of him first before we make any big judgments. But, I think it's a lot of people sort of getting up to that level at this point, too.
Yeah, at least in this match, if you had to ask me who I would go with as a possible MVP candidate, it would be the most handsome, best main tank, greatest in the world. Who is better than Fisher? Nobody.
Not lately. Not many. There he is on your screen right now. I think this guy right now is definitely in the conversation for League MVP. If he keeps up the performance that he's been keeping up, getting another win over his former team, London, just a couple games ago.
I mean, the difference in performance with the Gladiators has been huge since he joined the roster.
Hey, it's Muma coming in for Fact Fiction as we move forward towards Nimbani. And we are right about ready to get into that one. So Volskaya going the way of the LA Gladiators, and now we see if the Houston Outlaws can tie up the series on our hybrid map, Nimbani. Time to get in there and see who can take it. It's going to be Gladiators on the attack again. Houston Outlaws starting things off on the defense. We are moments away from seeing if Gladiators can put together a strong attack. We're already in. Here we go. Surefour on the 76, which is a bit interesting.
Yeah, Gladiators usually do run Tracer Soldier on their attack, but what's really interesting, though, is the Widow Sombra defense we have going on right now on the side of the Houston Outlaws.
Oh, they just shoved Raucus off the top there. A hack onto Bijou, may not have been expecting that one. He's going to get demeched almost immediately. That was big for Houston. Wow, they were so ready for that. Great hack from Jake, and that's going to be a solid defense from the Houston Outlaws.
And they were bamboozled. Jake was behind the tanks. Now, the typical strategy on Nimbani, Linkser was baiting them on the bridge, and that means the tanks are going to go in and try and knock him off. What they didn't know was that there was an invisible Sombra behind them hacking Vishu. Now they're going to have to take a different approach. I like this defense a lot. I've been watching too much Nimbani this week because it's been a puzzler for me as to how teams successfully defend point A. This, however, I think is an interesting solution that we have not seen before, and they are getting punished right now, the Gladiators, for it. Linkser is going to buy some time there with his infra sight.
Gladiators having a bit of a chat, and now they're going to try to come back in again. see what the plan is this time. They're just going to dive right onto the point. Big shot onto Fissure, though. Lost about half his health. And Shaz lost all of his. Jake finds the kill onto the Zenyatta. And now he's got the EMP for the next fight. This one clearly already won.
I think this is a brilliant defense. The problem with running the Soldier 76 is you will never outrange the Widowmaker. But what your tanks can do is push the Widow down the hall, down the street beyond the bridge, and so you don't have a vantage point over the control point itself if you're on defense. However, if Muma's where he is right now, and Jake is also collapsing from the same side, you can hack the tanks that are trying to zone you out. And then a damage-boosted Linkser can melt the tanks. This is a very different Numbani defense than what we've seen so far in Overwatch League, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's worked great so far. Surefour going to swap over to the Widow now. Going to take that 1v1. Realizes kind of what you were saying, that you can't really fight that Soldier v Widow. Raucus uses the Transcendence early. Had a little bit of trouble here. Jake tried to go for the EMP, but he didn't catch the Zenyatta. They're still going to get the kills anyway, although Fissure finally killing Jake. As coming in on the Jake.
Pulse bomb.
Nice pulse bomb on Numbani.
Right during the Valkyrie, that is a huge play, Noah.
Yeah, not a lot of use out of that ultimate. Now Gladiators has to be aggressive, though. They need to capitalize on this right now. Bishu brought back up again. There's the kill on Raucus. Gladiators may have finally found their opportunity. That EMP for Jake that he waited so long to use just didn't get them a lot. Raucus was ready with the Transcendence.
That was just a great play from the Gladiators. That time they were ready. They switched to the Widowmaker and they baited because they kept hacking the tanks, they baited Jake in. Jake's going to use that EMP, but Asher is there to punish them as they go in. Hits a really good pulse bomb, and that will propel them to victory. And they will take point A.
Yeah. Payload moving now.
And now Jake, of course, will be switching up onto the Tracer.
Yep. Surefour is sticking with the Widow for the moment. He's pretty close to Infrasight. Now, point B usually goes pretty quick for the attacker. You don't see a whole lot of holds here. Houston Outlaws with a couple ultimates to use. Jake flying high, or rather Surefour flying high, gets the kill on the Raucus on his way down. There goes Big Goose on the Gladiator side. Links are down though. Fissure making another big individual play, and whoa, the Surefour, what a flick onto the head of Jake. That was sick, and Surefour just cleaning up now. Goodbye.
Waving goodbye at the end. So Gladiators stalled out temporarily, but the big individual plays, like you're saying, coming through, whether it's Asher, Surefour, or Fissure, they are bisecting the Outlaws formation and cleaning up both halves at the same time. Asher now going to be on the flank with Fissure. Fissure is right by him. Fissure's going to drop away.
He had to back away. He took a bit of damage here. Oh, there's a stick on the Linkser. He never saw it coming. Asher with a big pick there. Self-destruct used. Meanwhile, Raucus, he's going to use that Transcendence rather, not the self-destruct. Zenyatas don't do that yet. Surefour with a kill on Raucus, so as soon as the ultimate ends, they've nearly got the payload there. Asher trying to put some pressure on it. Shaz kills Jake, and now Gladiators can go back in. They dealt with the backline threat, and they dealt with the frontline threat too now. Self-destruct finally used by Coolman, but it's still going to be Gladiators grinding this one out. Coolman a little bit low on the mech, and yeah, that's going to be That's going to be point B.
That's it. 3 minutes remaining, so still a good amount of time for the Gladiators. Jake's going to stay on the Tracer for the time being. So they are still committed to the Tracer Widow. Both of these teams liking that combination, but Gladiators, quite a few ults up for themselves. They're going to drop back and avoid the Infrasight from Linkser.
Yeah, they can just wait that out. They've got 2:40 on the clock right now. They don't need to be super panicked about getting the attack done quickly. Got time.
You must like me.
Well, I guess. I don't really like playing you, Widowmaker, but I like watching other people play you.
That's the only thing I like about Widowmaker, is watching other people.
It's quite the assumption to make, Widowmaker. Big Goose down already. Good start for Houston Outlaws. Surefour going to get chased out. May not make it. Yeah, I think he's just going to, well, gets back to the Transcendence. The Raucus right there with a right click. Shaz finds the kill onto Jake, though, and Asher on the run. Gets back to the big health pack, but I think that attack is pretty much over.
Yeah, you'll be pretty happy with this if you're the Houston Outlaws as well. You sort of matched support ultimates, so the way the support ults are staggered right now, Big Goose and Raucus will have theirs simultaneously, while Shaz and Banny should have theirs up at about the same time. And it's going to be hard for the Gladiators to punch through this because they don't have a big fight-winning ult right now until they get that Valkyrie.
They've been efficient with the ultimates, so and it's saving him. And the battle with the Tracers looks like Surefour's going to get involved. Just chasing Jake out of there. Jake going in. He's got the 1v2. Tries to go. Oh, he gets Surefour though. Whoa! What a surgical strike to kill Asher and then, or Surefour rather, and then Linkser with the finishing blow on Asher.
And there's the throwaway self-destruct from Bishu as well. That wasn't going to hit anybody.
Well, Fisher popped Primal Rage during that as well. This attack could not have gone worse for the Gladiators.
Yeah, that really is an overcommitment to a lost fight. Maybe there was a miscommunication and they thought perhaps they were going to be able to resurrect Surefour, but Muma was standing right on top of him, so that was pretty much a no-go from the beginning. Fissure now going to change to Orisa.
Huh, okay.
Now it will be a slow push now.
I mean, I suppose it does help mitigate some of the incoming fire from the Widowmaker to have those shields that you can position and reposition pretty quickly.
Yeah, I like this adaptation. We'll see if they can make it work.
Yeah, pulling people into the firing line of Surefour too is pretty big. Primal Rage for Muma. He's gonna stay alive with that one. Gets aggressive in the backlines now. Oh, tries to boop Fissure out into the sight of the rest of his team, but isn't too successful in doing that. They do get the D-Mech on the cool mat.
Yeah, couldn't get the Winston bubble down in time, so the D-Mech does come through. They also already used the Valkyrie.
Oh, they've nearly killed Muma here. And Surefour gets Jake actually with the Venom Mine. Shaz brought back into the fight. Bishu there on the point, cleaning up some of the squishier members of Houston. Bonnie and Raucus both down, and that's a big fight for Gladiators. They are going to push forward here. The adaptation on the fly, coming up big for these guys, but we are in overtime. They're going to need to fight the respawns.
And now Fisher's coming back with a Reinhardt just to push it in. Big Goose going to be speed boosting him back with the Lucio. Love this fast swaps we're seeing from the Gladiators today.
Bishu's got to stay alive, though. They can't let him get D-Mech'd immediately here. Transcendence comes in. Gonna have to be, oh, carefully, barely misses a pin on the body, but he gets him back in the back room. No Guardian Angel, and somehow, some way,
Muma died. There was nobody on the card, so Gladiators are going to push it.
Interesting. Gladiators gets all 3 points.
And let's talk about how this happened, because the first defense from Houston was good, but Gladiators was great after that. Now, they are not going to be expecting the Sombra here. You can see Jake at the top right corner of your screen, and Linkser is the bait. Usually tanks will dive in to push people onto the low ground, and this is where we see Jake strike. Comes across, hacks Bishu, and then this is just a total cleanup because they're able to walk straight back on after that play. So this is a very different style and a tricky style, a cunning style of Numbani defense.
It's things like that that are going to make the difference between making the stage playoffs or not, too. I mean, you need to be the team that's making those little adaptations to kind of take advantage of your opponent's plan.
Yeah, it's been a puzzler for me, this Numbani A defense, because with all the stuff you can do on attack, sometimes you'll see the Soldier, sometimes you'll see the Widowmaker, sometimes you'll see Dive.
Sometimes you'll see the Pharah.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see the Pharah. And it's hard to have a catch-all defense that can sort of deal with anything.
Yeah.
And the Soldier is the Soldier Tracer that we're going to see the Gladiators run with is problematic, because if you get knocked off the high ground, the tanks will be on this wall with the oil advertisement on it, and you have to walk up onto this corner and drop your heal station, and you're still pretty vulnerable in the end. The Tracer can sort of control the point, but it gets tough when there's a couple supports and a couple tanks lined up on that wall, and you have to attempt the retake. So I'm not a huge fan of this. You can also just get decimated by a Widow on attack because you'll have such a disadvantage when it comes to range.
Definitely something scary to consider. We'll see if Gladiators picked right. Houston Outlaws not going with the Widowmaker. Oh, no, they are. Okay, it was a Genji for Linkser initially, but he swapped to the Widowmaker at the last second.
They saw the Soldier, is what happened, is they realized it was a Soldier play, and then they switch over to the Widowmaker, because now you can control the high ground, you can control the point, and the Soldier has huge problems against this.
Yeah, here comes Houston. The battle, Raucus in big trouble, doesn't get to the health pack. Oh, that hurts bad. Asher with a big kill on the supports early. Man, when you die on the health pack like that, that feels so bad.
As couldn't quite get there, and now the Gladiators can walk up on them. No other deaths occur in the skirmish, and Raucus will slowly make his way back to the point. Linkser just making sure.
Well, he's playing it very cautiously until his team gets back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't want to get picked.
Needs to get them off the high ground, though.
Oh, Shaz. Needs to be careful here. Oh, comes out with the right click. Oh, but Rocket's there. He predicts him with his own shots anyway. The double sniping attempt. Big Goose comes in with the res onto Shaz. Now Asher on the run, tries to get to the health pack. I believe he did get to it. Yep. And there's a res onto Shaz. Okay, that still did come in. Houston Outlaws not giving up on the attack yet. They've kind of looped around the left side, and they're all protecting Linkser back there. He's going to drop to the low ground. And they're going to go right through the Winston shield. That's going to be the self-destruct use. Now Surefour pulls out the tac visor. Muma's got the shield there. He's going to run right into it. Melee range. He gets the kill onto Muma. Bishu, though, down. And Raucus finds it onto Fissure as well.
So it's a 5 versus 6 for the Houston Outlaws on the point now. Linkser has the infrared. Asher's going to get Jake.
Yeah, but then Linkser comes right in for the counter kill, and Houston still has control of the point. They can contest it, though. Big Goose tries to keep Surefour alive, though, but he can't. It was too much of a dive. Bishu, meanwhile, delaying it, keeping any time from being taken by the Houston Outlaws. Transcendence comes out, self-destruct, no targets. Houston actually kind of has to fall back. Oh, but Big Goose on his own. He needs to find a way to get out of there with the Guardian Angel. Chasing him, just drawing back the members of Houston. It does take pressure off the point a bit. It does expose Bonnie. Both Mercies down now. Surefour finds Jake as well, and it's just Muma and Coolmat. Make it just Muma on the point. So somehow the Gladiators were able to delay.
And Muma really wants to kill somebody right here while the healing is gone. If he gets Surefour, which he does, they may be able to pull this off. He has to stay alive, though, and he will.
All right, that was actually big.
That was
not so big because the res comes in for Big Goose.
Yeah, they do get the res, but now there's no res on the side of the Gladiators, and they've been pushed out. Look how far back they have to play. Now they have to play recapture on the territory of the point, and Jake is capping.
Well, Bishu's already lost his mech too, so Gladiators more or less without a tank, now without their Widowmaker too, so Houston should be able to finish this one up right here. It is cleanup time, just trying to delay, eat as much time off the clock as they can right now. They did force Houston down to less than 1 minute remaining, but Houston will get the payload started.
And honestly, that was a really good defense by the Gladiators, considering the compositional differences, but you see what happens when you're finally shoved off the point.
Yeah.
Gladiators were tenacious in the way that they wouldn't get shoved off, and they were attacking aggressively down the main entrance. And
yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
please. Okay. It is a Torbjorn on attack in Overwatch League.
Fissure
got
has
the shield from Marisa. Okay.
Look at the compositional. Gladiators has changed to a triple tank for this defense, and the reaction is going to be a Torbjorn, Muma.
Okay.
And if they stay behind this Orisa shield, it's going to be difficult to take this out with the composition they're running.
That's right. Jake on the run now, but he can't run fast. Oh, and that's a double kill. Gotta run quicker. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you do not run Torbjorn on attack. Although, well, you can if you have Linkser killing everybody, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you have to attack the cart, but in the meantime, as you walk up on the cart, there's Linkser there that's shooting you at close range.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when it comes down to it, this does create just a ton of space for Linkser.
Jake is not switching off.
Not yet. No, Asher down. They don't need to, man. I mean, they've got the slight edge in terms of numbers here. Linkser fed up, getting a little bit frustrated with missing those shots here. Meanwhile, Jake building as fast as he can.
And this is the first time Torbjorn has been played on attack on Numbani, or on attack on any map, and I'm sure no one will be surprised about that.
We are not making a chicken out of a feather there. It is a big deal. All right, now. All we're missing is a Symmetra.
Muma wants to fix that for us, we know.
I know.
Historically. So Asher has this pulse bomb, wants to get somebody in the back line right now. Shaz actually kills Raucus.
Hey, finishing damage. Pulse bomb goes in, and Gladiators storming back into this fight. Jake and Jake's beloved turret, his baby, are down.
So are they going to play this long enough? No, now is the time to switch off. I was like, okay, probably not going to stick with it through the Molten Core. I think that would be a mistake.
I mean, he was pretty far away from the Molten Core yet.
Yeah.
It would have taken him too long.
Yeah, and they are going to be probably trying to make a couple of eco pushes into the end of this map. They have to get rid of the Graviton if they want to keep moving forward.
It was a hilariously quick point B for Houston. They've given themselves as much time as they possibly could have to try to take C, but 2 minutes is still not a lot of time on Numbani to finish. Fissure waiting in with that Reinhardt now. Surefour gets a kill into Linkser. Gladiators have so much HP right now, it's hard to burn through it. The Discord targeting needs to be really good for Outlaws, and right now Gladiators just running away with this one.
Yeah, they use the Earth Shatter, but Surefour patient with this Graviton Surge. He's not going to commit. He's been a pretty low energy this entire time, so not doing a lot of damage. The Houston Outlaws not giving him much to work with. They're not shooting those projected barriers. Big Goose, though, works his way up towards the sound barrier.
I mean, Gladiators have a huge ult advantage right now. Both support ultimates. They've got big CC ultimate as well and Graviton Surge. They can go for the bigger bang combo, which is where you Graviton Surge and then send the self-destruct from D.Va in there.
Yeah, Houston needs to force these ults out now. They've got a couple of pushes left, but that's going to be it.
They've got maybe 3 at this point. Here we go. Surefour does not want his grab to get eaten here, and that's going to be the job. Oh, I just said that. I thought he nearly was about to do it. The voice cue was very similar. I got a bit bamboozled by that one.
You did, but not quite yet. He is being super patient with it, and he's getting
Manny.
a lot charge.
Oh boy. Oh, Rockaso gets a kill into Surefour. Can they res him? Shaz down as well. He used the Transcendence, and now Bishu D-Mech, this fight falling apart. They didn't really get to use many ultimates. And there's a lot of picks from Houston. Now they've got the ults.
Yeah, in the meantime, Houston gets the advantage, so Gladiators may have held on a little bit too long. They held all of their ults there for the most part.
Yep. They're so close. Here we go. Sound barrier as Gladiators get aggressive. 30 seconds remaining. If they can win a fight here, it's going to be tough to do it. That's an Earth Shatter coming in. They're going to grab as well, but where's the damage? They need to do more with that. The charge takes Coolmat out of the fight and out of the Transcendence healing. Lynx are a bit on his own, going to get run over by Bishu. And now Asher with Coolmat taken down, and it's only Muma on the point. Rock is killed by Asher on the tertiary side of that.
And now
That may
10
be it.
seconds left. I mean, Muma can maybe get there.
Bishu zoning Jake as well.
Yeah, Jake
Near
is
the
going to have
choke
to
here.
blink onto the
No,
payload.
no one's
He
don't get there. No.
just tried to blink in time. Bishu, I think, booped him back just enough that he couldn't double blink
Yeah, it was
to make
good,
it to the payload.
It was good zoning by Bishu. That was not a C9, guys. I don't think it was.
It was not. It was not. He thought that he could get there in 2 blinks. He tried to time it out. Bishu knocked him back just enough that he wasn't able to reach the payload in time.
I know what Twitch chat is spamming right now, and it's fun. It's fun. It's not true.
But it's
not
wrong.
the case. 2-0 lead for LA Gladiators. That's the truth right now as they pull it out on Numbani against the Houston Outlaws. We're going to go to halftime here with the desk has to say, and then after that, we will see if the Houston Outlaws can start a bit of a comeback. Will they be able to get some momentum in the series? Don't go anywhere because you're going to find out right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP.